Hello, it's me. Yeah, so I thought to do a bit of an update. Nothing bad's happened, all apart from my shaky hand camera work. Yeah, so I can move the camera about. And I know me camera work's a bit shaky and stuff, but hopefully it's. I think only once has someone sort of talked about it. But yeah, I think a couple of the last actual showcases I did, I called them shaky showcases and stuff, so they can move the camera around a bit and yeah. So right, some stuff that's been going on because I've not done a video in a while. Right, where to start? I'm still working on the War of the Roses army, uh, and I might as well start with that. So what I'm going to do is around, and these guys are gonna. I've finished the actual paint job. Maybe I do because I think it's mainly the standard bearer cavalry on front. I think I'm probably. I'm gonna probably I'm gonna have to go through well, generally a lot of them and stuff. Even the stuff that's just behind me. Uh, Come on. The other way, go on. Well, that bottom shelf of stuff with models on. Yeah, they go through some of them and do some better highlights, work on the highlights and detailing a bit more. But they're essentially done paintwork wise. Back again, and I know I'd got to do banners, and I got some. I think what these were from Big Small Worlds. No, Pete's Flags. These were Pete's Flags ones. So yeah, I was doing Audley's man. See Audley's name there, because there were two of the Lord Audleys fighting during the War of the Roses, and the first one died at. I think I might have mentioned this in a previous video. He died at Blaw's Heath, and he got Audley's Cross, and yeah, because it was that one that's buried actually quite close by. He used to have a the Audley family until about 1550 used to have one of the local big houses nearby called Markeaton House, and yes, and he's actually buried in one of Derby's suburbs called Darley Abbey. It's basically a suburb, almost. But yeah, and then I mean he was quite old as it was anyway. I mean he was 69, nice, but yeah, he was getting on the in Tudor in sort of Tudor ages. That sort of that's ancient. So in Tudor perspectives, so even though roughly about it's not even Tudor perspectives. The War of the Roses ended with as the Tudor period started, but yeah, yeah, and it clicked in my head that Derby used to have the Audley Centre, and it clicked in my head that it'd be named after the same guy, but. Because I quite like the Audleys, because that was the fifth Baron, the fifth Lord Audley was James Touche, I think it's Touche, and then he was replaced by his son John Touche, who was the sixth Lord Audley, and yeah, these guys are gonna double up as there we are, the Lord Audleys. So yeah, I wanted to try and do everything freehand. So it's the heraldry on the tabard is freehand, and you can tell in some ways it is. But yeah, and you got this guy as well. That's the mounted one. Because I'm getting these prepared for a bit of Never Mind the Bellhawks, and well, I wanted a dismounted version so I can play Here's the Ruckus, and I've got a Herald. So what I'll be doing with banners, so I've got Pete's flags, and I've got the main banner, the army banner, and it was what's the major motif? What is he famous for? What's on all the troops livery? What's on the troop livery? The little badge on the brass pocket. Butterflies. Oh, great. What's on the banner? Butterflies and what they call a Moor's head. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to get shouted at if I play that at a quick guess. Well, so I'm still going to put on a head, but I'll probably lighten the skin tone a little bit just to be sort of indeterminate ethnicity, as it were. So he's, yeah. And then I've got the heraldry flag underneath. Well, you can sort of just see part of the details, and it's got the little fleur-de-lis. Sorry, here we go. Fleur-de-lis underneath. But, yeah, I wanted to paint my own. So I've started doing that. And I've got... this'll be the main banner. And Audley would probably have had the banner itself and his coat of arms very close to him, and then each of his detachments would have had their own flags. So I mean, in the parcel you only get one of the sort of retinue flags, so, and I sort of wanted more because I'm sort of thinking I might be sort of expanding the forces a little bit, so I sort of wanted there to be a few more, because I think I've organised his retinue, but from now on I probably don't put them in delivered jackets or whatever. Yeah, they're sort of lower quality levies or something. But yeah, that's basically them. So yeah, got the flag bearers here and stuff. Yeah. So I'm almost... Yeah, no, I just started preparing doing the flags, and then I thought to myself, hold on a minute. I need to do some movement trays. And I'd been doing a load of stuff out of the proper job. Yeah, the thick cards, just trying to make my own. I can buy them and stuff, but it's like, I've been quite enjoying making my own. Loads of super glue spare. But it's like, I've made movement trays out of thick cardboard like this before, and they're a bit too thick and bulky. I was sort of hoping to do sort of like, you know, with this sort of packaging, sort of single layer cardboard. So whether I start cutting up some of these boxes, I don't know, but they're doing pretty much very similar to how I do the model base and stuff, and it's just put the basing texture around the edges and stuff. But yeah, so I just like the idea of making them all by myself and stuff, and yeah, I just hope I can get enough of the thinner card. I've got some of the Harry boxes, and just using some of the troop boxes for that, and because I think I'm going to need. Hold on, I think I worked out that I'm going to need 12 or 13. Most of them for troops, and then one for command stand. So yeah, yeah, doing a command stand or something, and it's just yeah. But yeah, so I'm hoping I can find enough of those to fill out, because yeah, it's because I wanted to do, never mind the bell hooks, and it's units of 12, and it's even like with these, it's like there's almost a full unit of bellmen and pretty much 2 units of archers just here, and yeah, and it's just get it, and I've got the ones up on the shelf, so it's about 8 or 9, and then I've got the 2 units of cavalry, about 9 for the infantry, and then about 2 or 3 for the cavalry. depending on how I filled them. I need to, yeah, and I filled it in batches of 12 anyway. So yeah, but yeah, I'm sort of blathering about those. But yeah, I think I'm just going to turn the camera around. Hold on a second. For a bit about stuff, because yeah, I went. Hold on. If you, yeah, I've got an. As of filming, I've got one video to put up that I'm going to do quite soon. Tomorrow, in fact, and then this should be put up afterwards. But I went to CrackCon. They did a half, yeah, like a junior CrackCon. Carry on CrackCon. And I did actually have a cracking time there. So, yeah, it was one of the first larger events that I'd been wanting to go to for quite a while, and it feels like I've sort of, in a sense, I've been a bit reclusive, and it's that I've sort of spent quite a long time just sort of speaking with people online. And I was sort of getting to feel a bit awkward about that, and it was just sort of, things were beginning to feel a bit sort of disjointed. This is sort of all after the sort of if you've seen some of my videos from about a year ago, because I had to move in a rush, and to be honest, I found that absolutely devastating. And I'm half expecting people to tune out from me talking about better mental health stuff, but yeah, I really did find that absolutely devastating. And I'd sort of been trying to, because they'd done the CrackCon for October, and I'd sort of just about missed out. But I'd sort of wanted to go back then, and it was just to then turn up and you're there. Is the night before? Yeah, it was because CrackCon is basically it's a convention for people from the Plastic Crack podcast, for those that don't know. And it was sort of, I've been interacting with them for ages, and to then spend a day and the previous evening in the rooms, it was just sort of like, this feels just sort of, it feels almost disjointed. I've been interacting with people there for a while and being in the live streams, and then it's sort of, I'm putting faces to, yeah, I'm in the same room talking with them, and it was just sort of, and to be honest, it was also in my local game store, which I should really go down to a bit more anyway, Boards and Swords. Well, yeah, and it was just sort of, it all got tied together, but it all felt a bit sort of disjointed, that it was a bit sort of in my mind, that it was just sort of, there are these three completely different, it's almost as if like having three different worlds, and then they've all joined together. They've all overlapped, and it was really refreshing. It was really reassuring. It was because yeah, it was because a lot of I found out that a lot of the many of the people that I've been reacting with, just generally, even outside of the wargaming, a lot of people are just sort of quite far away that I interact with. So it's mainly sort of having quite a few online friends and stuff, and it was just sort of to then bring it closer, and it felt more, it just sort of on that sort of thing, level of comprehending like friendships or whatever, and acquaintanceships and stuff. It felt a bit more closer and stuff. It was like I'd properly entered a community, as it were. And I'm not necessarily probably describing it adequately, but yeah, it's because I found myself being quite, I get social anxiety and stuff, and it was just sort of, to then turn around and not need to be anxious socially, and that I can sort of, and it was quite a big sort of way of just sort of getting out of that anxiety, I was very pleased about that, and it was managed to spend most of the day playing a game of. I did the short, and I think before I've put this video up, I'll have put another video up of this. That's a film on the day itself. But I'd been playing Warhammer Fantasy 8th Edition with Padre from Big Small Worlds, and he was recreating some of part of his Tyler Troubles stuff. So, and that was just wonderful. I think there'd been about a period of probably about a month where I'd binge watched the first, probably not even that, about a fortnight where I'd binge watched all the first 80 episodes of Tyler's Troubles or something, and it was just sort of a voice that tells me stories and while I paint and stuff, and it was just sort of like, I'm playing a game with him. Oh, it was just sort of like, oh right, something out of the ordinary. And he's a really nice guy, and it was just wonderful. And with most of these places, I should put the links in the description for this stuff. And it was just, because it's sort of. To be honest, I've been trying quite hard to get back to normalcy over the last couple of years and stuff, even before the flood and stuff, and it's just sort of to then have that all worthwhile. It's that I don't necessarily need to be anxious about that. It's quite reassuring. So, planning on going back in, rolling my sleeve up. I'm planning on going. They're doing another October event this year. Planning on going that. I think that's the middle of October. But I think some of the guys I'm probably saying. I know one of the guys I'm probably saying at Boyle. Bring out your lead in August. I should be anyway. And then I'm just trying to think what's happening in the meantime, because we're about just under a fortnight away from Salute, and I'm planning on going down. And some of the people I'd seen over the last weekend will be at Salute, and I'll see them again, see there and stuff. Because it's a bit of a shout out for I'll be at, because No Salute this year are doing player group tables, and I've signed up for doing Oakbound's The Woods, and they've just they've had the pre-orders up, and I'll try and put the link in for the pre-orders, but they've released the first actual full-on, it's The Woods 3rd edition, and they've called it Shiver Shield, and they've released it as an actual box set, like the actual proper job starter box with 2 starter warbands, the rule book, paraphernalia, and stuff like that. And they recently had they recently had an article on Tabletop about it and stuff. But they're going to be at Salute, and their actual full game launch is going to be at Salute. So I'll be picking. Yeah, I think I've shown off me having the beta book, the beta test books. No, it's because I've done a couple of test gaming and stuff, trying to get my head around the rules and stuff, and the changes and stuff. So I'm going to that. I'm taking a couple of my warbands down that you might have seen more recently. And then planning on taking a bit of like dungeon furniture. And there's a YouTuber called Battlin Barrows who's done the main board itself. And I've pretty much got myself all set up to go to that. So I've got that on the 11th. So yeah, come and say hello if you just so happen to be down at Salute. I'll be mostly at the boards and I'll be mostly at the player group table for Oakbound, because they've got their stall as well. So they'll have their shop stall, and there'll be us at the player group the player group playing a game and stuff. So everything should hopefully go all right. We're doing a. They've got we're delving into they've got an in-world dragon, wingless dragon called an Aidworm, and the warbands are going to be delving into the Aidworm's lair to try and steal its treasure, and we should be able to do stuff like bait and switch with other warbands and tempt warbands and dragons to other sort of locations, and be able to have a pretty fun game and stuff. And there are options for that. But yeah, I'm going to do that. And one thing I actually got this through this morning, and I'll show you guys this. And so this will be a bit of an unboxing as well. And I'm going to flip the camera around. There we go. I got this through this morning. This is a Kickstarter. Yeah, and this came through today. Yeah, it's Kettle Trouts Fomarians, and you get the illustrated card, and you get pretty much all of them as models, and got a bit of a because that's don't necessarily mind my name going on, but yeah, thanks for the support. Yeah, and I'm sure I would enjoy the models. But yeah, a couple of stickers, and in here, just a bit sort of a, because you could back it to get all the shields separately, and you can sort of see the pile of skulls, and you can sort of see that you get the moon face stuff, and you get all the random shield designs. You could back these all separately, and just back to get those and stuff. And then in here, got all the models. Sort of, yeah, you get a banner bearer. So you can just see him there, and you're just having a bit of a look because it's they're all on rocky platforms, and just sort of having a bit of a look because. Some of them, I'll probably try and, because I need to work on a big batch of scenery and stuff, what I'll probably try and do is, because I'm meant to be turning up with some, what I'll see about doing, is I'm going to be, at Salute, I'm going to be turning up at, with some dungeon furniture stuff, scatter terrain. So it actually looks like I've got rocky bits and piles of skulls. I'll probably try. I don't know if I'll be able to get the Femir. Actually, I'm probably not going to come down with the actual Femir and stuff, but I can probably get the piles of rocks and stuff all done and stuff, and there can be there can be sort of turn up searchable rocks for interact with to get extra bits of treasure. I'll put it forward to the Discord actually. But yeah, managed to get some of Femir Trout's Femir for that. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'll see you all soon. If you're at Salute, I'll see you there. If you're at other shows, and yeah, come and say hello. Bye. Stay safe. Stay groovy.